Hello, Bitcoiners. My name is Tyler Laroche from Bitcoin Magazine. Today, I sat down with Alex Gladstein. Alex has been the Chief Strategy Officer of the Human Rights Foundation since 2007 and recently has begun to work with underbanked communities to utilize the Bitcoin Lightning Network. In this interview, we discuss the future of the Lightning Network, the future of Bitcoin in general, what he's looking forward to most at the conference, and most importantly, his panel with Jack Dorsey, Banking the Unbanked, at 12:25 on day one. It's going to be a banger. You better get your seats early. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Alrighty, Bitcoiners. My name is Tyler Laroche, and I'm here with Alex Gladstein. Alex, how's your 2021 been so far?
Oh, it's been a good year. I think it'll be a memorable time for a lot of us as we proceed into the future. These months were crazy and historic, and continuation of a world-changing time.
Yeah, completely agree. Hopefully, it's a little better than your 2020. So just to get right into it. So you've been with the Human Rights Foundation since 2007. First off, how did you discover Bitcoin? And second, when did you realize that you could apply Bitcoin as a freedom technology to your work at the Human Rights Foundation, since you're working in a lot of countries like Iran and Sudan with tyrannical governments and just a lot of failing infrastructure there?
Sure. Yeah, well, activists first got in touch with us at the Human Rights Foundation in 2013. That summer, obviously, during that bull run, they thought it could be interesting for places like Ukraine, actually, at the time, which was like sort of prepping for a revolution. They thought it would be interesting as a way of getting money to them in ways where the banking system was like failing. And the next year, we started accepting donations in Bitcoin in 2014 for our work. But I wouldn't say I personally discovered it until 2017. So, I mean, I was like loosely aware of it, logistically dealt with some of it at work, but did not fall down the rabbit hole until 2017. I think in 2016, I had I had the opportunity to have dinner with Bitstein, which was awesome. And, none of these things really, people kept putting Bitcoin on my radar, but everything didn't really click into place for me until 2017. We had some Bitcoin programming at the Oslo Freedom Forum, which is the conference that we do that spring in May. This was kind of when the price was kind of moving from we just kind of like broken past 1,000, and it was kind of moving towards 2,000, and people were starting to get really excited. So that's when I began my journey, let's say, and have not stopped ever since. And each year we've added different kinds of programming and interactions with Bitcoin at Ahrefs since that time.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a while to digest Bitcoin as itself, especially if you're dealing with it when it's in the hundreds. When you first see it, it's not as quote unquote a legit asset for you in your personal life. Where was the first country where you applied Bitcoin to?
I mean, look, for us, it's been a process of learning and observing and less applying. I mean, I think that Bitcoin is this voluntary phenomenon, and,
Yeah,
and you can't force people to use it. But we saw people using it in different places. I mean, I heard, obviously about activists using it in Ukraine back in 2013. I also heard kind of earlier in my career about activists using it in Afghanistan, female activists using it to get around the banking system there, which is a really interesting story. And then, our founder is Venezuelan. We've done a lot of work in Venezuela over the years, and I know a lot of Venezuelans. And I started to learn about how they were using Bitcoin. So, I mean, that was really, that came to the fore in 2016, 2017. And that was like an early kind of obvious indicator that hey, this thing is actually an important tool. It's not just sort of a theoretical, it's actually helping people. And in the last 5 years, that has just expanded in a massive, massive way.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just helping. I was just looking at Matt Alberg's website, usefultulips.org, and I was looking at the Venezuelan trading volumes because someone that did not check their financial privilege was was arguing that it did not have a use case. So I always like to throw your article, check your financial privilege in there on Bitcoin Magazine for sure. Just keep going. What are you most looking forward to in 2021 of just in the Bitcoin space in general?
I I'm looking forward to wallets continuing to improve and continuing to see Lightning integration on mobile. I mean, just the other day, I was showing a friend that how easy it was to go to like strike.me/racing, and it pops up with a quick little invoice QR code. So that's like one click, and you basically click. You go to the website and you just click, and it pastes the invoice, and you just drop it on your phone into your Moon, my Moon wallet, MUUN wallet, and I just pay it, and it's done. And there's just no other steps. There's just no ID required, like no personal information. Final settlement, that Bitcoin is out the door. And I think here's where we start really getting to the magic of it, right? Like that, where the usability starts to just like manifestly be better than the fiat system. Like there's authorizations that have to be done normally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here it's just like boom, boom. Like it was, and it's instant. So it's like, it's a very impressive thing to show people, basically. Let's put it that way. So Lightning integration on mobile is pretty killer. And I want to see more of that. That's what people need out in emerging markets in the authoritarian countries. Like people need low fees, people need instant payments, people need micro payments, people need a little more privacy. I know that Lightning is far from perfect on that front, but clearly better if you're worried about chain surveillance, to just at least obfuscate your activity a little more there. Excited to see kind of what people build on Taproot, man. I mean, we're probably looking at November activation, probably looking at a new batch of like kind of Taproot optimized wallets and services coming out Q1, Q2, Q3 next year. Like I think there's going to be some really cool stuff happening with regard to efficiency gains, with regard to fee reduction, and especially with regard to privacy. So I'm pretty excited about all that.
Yeah, the